In the dimly lit gym, where the flickering fluorescent lights cast eerie shadows, Mark was determined to get in shape. It was late, and he had the place to himself. He figured it was the perfect time for an intense workout. Little did he know, this decision would lead him into a nightmarish experience he would never forget. As Mark stepped onto the treadmill, he felt a sudden drop in temperature. It was as if the air had turned icy, sending shivers down his spine. He dismissed it as a strange draft and began his run. The rhythmic thumping of his shoes on the rubber belt echoed ominously through the deserted gym. Minutes turned into hours. As Mark pushed himself harder, the monotonous drone of the treadmill creating a hypnotic trance. He glanced at the large wall mirror in front of him, and for a split second, he saw a shadowy figure lurking behind him. He turned around, but there was nothing there. Ignoring the unsettling feeling, Mark moved to the weights section. The clinking of iron plates and the heavy breathing of exertion filled the room. He loaded the barbell, preparing for a set of bench presses. As he lay down, he suddenly felt an unexplainable weight pressing down on his chest, making each repetition agonizing. It was as if an invisible force was trying to suffocate him. Panicking, he struggled to re-rack the weights, but they seemed impossibly heavy now. He glanced around, and that's when he noticed something chilling. The gym's atmosphere had shifted. The walls seemed to close in on him, and the gym equipment appeared older, rusted, and decrepit. This was not the same gym he had entered just moments ago. Mark decided to leave, but the gym's heavy steel door wouldn't budge. It was as if it had become fused shut. Panic welled up inside him as he realized he was trapped in this nightmarish version of the gym. The only way was to press on. He stumbled over to the rowing machine, hoping to find some way out. As he pulled on the handle, the room seemed to stretch and warp around him. The gym equipment twisted and contorted, taking on grotesque forms. Dumbbells became twisted claws, and the treadmill morphed into a grinding maw. Mark heard eerie whispers in the air, unintelligible but filled with malice. Shadows danced in the corners of the room, and ghostly figures moved in the mirrors. He was no longer alone. Terrifying apparitions of past gym-goers, trapped like him, began to materialize. Their faces were twisted in agony, their eyes pleading for release. Desperation consumed Mark as he ran from one nightmarish scene to another, each piece of equipment seemingly designed to torment him. He heard maniacal laughter echoing through the gym, but there was no one to be seen. Exhausted and terrified, Mark stumbled back to the treadmill, hoping it would return him to the reality he knew. As he started running, he felt the icy grip of a skeletal hand on his shoulder. He turned to see a ghastly figure, clad in tattered gym clothes, its face a horrifying mask of despair. "Join us," it moaned, its voice a hollow, echoing wail. Mark screamed and pushed the treadmill to its limits. The gym around him twisted and convulsed, and he felt himself being sucked into a vortex of darkness. Suddenly, Mark found himself back in the well-lit modern gym, drenched in sweat and gasping for air. He was free. He stumbled out of the gym, vowing never to return. From that day on, Mark never set foot in a gym again. He couldn't shake the feeling that the gym had shown him a glimpse of something beyond this world, something dark and malevolent. The memory of that terrifying night haunted him, serving as a chilling reminder that sometimes the scariest things can happen in the most ordinary of places.